Welcome to Scary Time by Indie Drop-In Network. Each week we feature an episode from the best independent creators. Subscribe for great scary content. If you would like to help Indie Drop-In support indie creators, you can buy us a coffee. Just go to buymeacoffee.com/indie drop-in or click the link in the show notes below. Today's episode is from Mission Spooky. Mission Spooky is a bi-weekly podcast for the paranormal and the nerdy. If you like today's episode from Mission Spooky, make sure to check out the show notes for links to subscribe and follow on social media. Enjoy the show.
Begin.
You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here.
3, 2, 1.
Spook.
We are gathered here as advisors, as scientists.
The kind of place we expect a ghost to like to wander around.
Hey, we all know that we're going down, baby.
I'll help you. I'm something of a witch.
Welcome to Mission Spooky. I'm your fantastic host, JC. With me, as per usual today, is the queen of everything herself, Kiki, and our local cryptid enthusiast, Cord. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing just great.
I'm like you like ran to your desk.
I did. I definitely was not plugging my headset into charge.
Nice.
To be fair, we have already been on this call for almost an hour. Well, I've been in here for almost an hour. Cord's been in here all day.
Yeah.
I'm feeling well rested after my 26-day work week. That was a fun one. But
Good for you, buddy. That's a whole work month, basically.
yeah, some would say.
I'm glad it's over for
Yeah,
you.
it's done. That's never happening again. You can count on that.
Hey, so we made it into the top 80 of podcasts that should be listened to in 2021 according to FeedSpot.
Yes.
I was pretty excited about that. That was an accident. Like, I didn't even know that we were on this list. I was looking for, oddly enough, I was trying to remember the name Kevin Eustace's other show because we've talked about the one we need to talk about ghosts, but then I couldn't remember the name of the other one, and I still can't. And I was trying to find it, and our logo popped up under that search, which was very bizarre, right? And then I was like, why did it? And then it said top 80, and I was like, wait, what? And I clicked on it, and hey, we're at 36. That's a pretty respectable place considering, this is like our 2-year anniversary now. Happy anniversary to us.
Yay.
I didn't get you guys anything, sorry.
I got you guys, me as a co-host.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I expected better presents.
Would you get us, JC?
My presence is present enough.
Yeah.
We both can't come to the same party with the same gift, man. Well, I guess our presences are both very different things, so never mind.
Yeah, it's like you got somebody like two different blankets. Yeah, I love blankets. If anyone ever wants to get me a gift, it's get me a blanket. I will never have enough. Like, you have two people come to your party and they both give you a blanket, but they're both like different kind of blankets. I don't fucking know. I don't know enough about blankets. Just send me all of them. Thanks.
I need a blanket rack at this point because I have too many.
There's no such thing. Oh, and you guys don't know this. I did convince a customer at my work to crochet me a blanket for free.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I bought the supplies, but she's doing the work for free. And I did offer to pay her like a few times. I'm like, and she's just like, no, I'll just do it, and it's gonna be fucking baller.
I did buy myself a present, 2 actually, for my birthday, which is at the end of the month. I bought.
My birthday's sooner.
By the time this airs, will have been your birthday, I think.
Probably.
So I kind of got us a gift, sure. So the Slow-Mo Sapiens, who is also our featured band today, by the way, they were doing this special direct-to-vinyl session out in Brooklyn, and where we pick a song, and they play that song live, and then it gets recorded and put directly onto vinyl. And I did it. I chose a song. We're getting a vinyl from Slow-Mo Sapiens, a one of a kind. So hopefully, since I did it as Mission Spooky, they're going to supposedly they gave us a little message in the beginning. So I like that. And then I also bought myself tickets to go see motherfucking Ghost and Twin Temple. Hell yeah.
Cool.
I didn't know you could just buy tickets to see ghosts. What are we even doing this podcast about if you could just go see ghosts?
Right?
I thought it was like a rare thing. I didn't know they sold tickets for it.
Just a ghost. Just a single one, though. It's just a ghost.
Yeah, a ghost. Not all of them, just a ghost.
One very popular ghost.
They can't all be in the same place at one time. You know, they got scheduling conflicts, I assume.
I have to say a very special thank you to our artist of the podcast, Chris Stone. I know we've talked about him like a lot. He does all of our creature work for Cord versus Cryptid.
Yay.
Volbeat will also be at the show. And when the tickets went on sale, he gave me a code so I could get in and get the tickets for us because he had a Volbeat fan code. And I was like, fuck yeah. So I got really good seats for this. I paid money. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be great. And my little brother also loves Ghost. It's not until February. It's the 8th. His birthday's on the 11th. So little bro's going to see Ghost with me. I'm like very excited. And now the funny part is that after I bought the tickets, since I am a fan of Ghost, like a half hour after I bought the tickets, I got a code from Ghost themselves. As a fan, they were like, here's your code to get in and get your tickets early. I was like, oh. Okay. Well, I already did it, but cool. I don't care who gives it to me. It's fine.
Hey,
so yeah,
man, pay it forward.
right? That's all the excitement that happened since our last. Oh, and this is a very special episode, so we're not. We're just gonna like get right into it. Don't have any promos for this one.
Wait, why is this a special episode?
Because we're putting episodes out every single week in October. Remember?
Yeah, you dingus.
But why is this one special?
Just shush.
Because this is an extra one.
Oh, okay.
Just shush.
Yeah.
We're going extra.
So it just means not necessarily a promo for this one. We're not gonna have to break for a promo for this one. We will have music though, like I said, from Slow Mo Sapiens, because they're so freaking cool. And if you're not listening to them, please go to Spotify. I'll tell you that now. I'm gonna tell you that again later. But anyway, I'm on a Slow Mo Sapiens kick. All right, guys. So do you remember what we're talking about today?
Bark.
Ghost.
Rough.
Go.
Close.
Rough.
Boo. Bark. Boo. Meow.
But then there's also some boo.
I love all these sounds. It's great.
Ghost aminals.
Yes. Ghost animals of Pennsylvania. Just a few.
Yeah.
Just a few.
Yeah, buddy.
Some of the pretty popular ones and a couple of stories. I'm going to wait till the end because I know that you guys are going to be excited about these stories and they're pretty close by. So I think after having just kind of discovered these, there's one in particular we definitely have to get out this summer and try it. Because I don't think that any of us are going to have time in the fall to like drive out there and do it. But let's just say it involves dogs in a way.
I don't like that it involves dogs. That's weird to me. That's the worst way you could phrase this. I'm sorry, Cord, but that's the worst way.
After the last surprise that you had for us being a whole dang episode about blue balls, I'm excited for this next surprise.
Here's the funny part. This really could be renamed just Ghost Dogs of Pennsylvania.
Where my dog's at?
Except for the fact that there's one, it's just really crazy story. And I'm going to open with this one because Cord knows this one.
I heard about this a very long time ago. But
yeah, tell him what it. Well, I'll say the name of it, and then you can tell a little bit about it, and I'll give the deets. But it is now called the Candle Shop with an E on the end, by the SHOPPE, the fancy way. Candle Shop, and this is located in the Poconos. And what's so special about this one, Cord?
It's Ghost Monkeys.
It is Ghost Monkeys. This one's exciting.
I've had people, not specifically to me, but I've read stories about a lot of people seeing in the Poconos ghost monkeys. And some people said baboons, but you said there were no baboons involved. But ghost monkeys in the middle of PA is absolutely gorgeous to me.
Yeah. And I will admit that I did sort of feel like this might have been, I don't know, I don't want to say a put on, but I don't want to say exactly like bullshit, but it's so odd that I definitely had to dig a bit deeper into this one because I was just like, what? Come on.
I mean, for me, it's that why? Because there's no like monkeys
There's no natural monkeys.
Just ghost monkeys.
Well, there was a time and a place when you could have monkeys as pets, bud.
Okay. So you're saying that they're okay. I see. You got me back in. I'm interested for the rest of the story. Okay, let's do this.
I dug into this one for you guys. The legend has it that after the candle shop opened, after this family bought the house, they opened this candle shop up, and the basement apparently had a section of it that was closed off. The new owners finally decided to investigate further. There had been some noises, some just odd sounds, like the rattling of a cage, things like that. Screeches they couldn't quite put their finger on. It was one of those, is that a monkey? Like, no. Like, what? That doesn't even make any sense, right? Because you're like, why? Why would that be? They go down there and they find all this old medical equipment, testing equipment, and cages that are about monkey size. Yeah, so apparently they dig a little bit deeper on their own, and they find out that there was a Dr. William Redwood Fisher who owned the house before them, and that he had done experiments in his basement, and he owned a whole bunch of different kinds of monkeys. Thus, the legend is born about the ghost monkeys of Pennsylvania. And as Cord said, the legend also specifically says the baboons of the Poconos, or the ghost baboons of Pennsylvania. I decided to find out about this William Redwood Fisher and what the heck the deal was. This story is 100% true. He had lost his father to yellow fever, and he decides he's going to dedicate his life to finding a cure for not only that, but also smallpox. And thanks to the fact that he graduated from Columbia University, it's the university's website who has all this information about him. So he did receive his medical degree there. He specialized in surgery. He was appointed as the lead surgeon at quite a few different places, because a lot of times, back then you'd have your own physician for like a company, for example. In May of 1891, he moves to Swiftwater, Pennsylvania, where he's going to basically go into retirement. And he was a partner with the Slee Laboratories. That's SLEE, Slee Laboratories. With his work with the laboratory is where these monkeys come into play. There's monkeys and there's the apes. So the only monkey that was used were spider monkeys, and then he used chimpanzees and gorillas. So no baboons. And having taken primatology because of my anthropology degree, I would say the baboon is probably the least one that you want to have.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because like they're commonly known to be pretty freaking let's say aggressive.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the word I would use. Yes.
Yeah. I was literally telling my friend at work, because I brought up the ghost monkeys last night. I was like, it's probably a good thing they didn't like have ghost mandrills, because like, holy shit, that would be chaos.
Yeah.
A ghost mandrill tearing shit up in your shop. Just why did I come in today and literally everything in this building is broken?
Yeah. I got to hold a baboon skull, and it really is the strangest looking thing. You're like, this is an ape? Like, what is this alien thing? Like, it's just crazy looking.
Oh, wow. That is really weird looking.
Yeah, right? I like
It looks like a dog with a really tiny head. It's mostly dog face. What the fuck? That's really bizarre.
Look at their freaking canines on that. It's ridiculous. You don't want to fuck with that.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Yeah, you don't want to fuck with baboos. Yeah,
don't fuck with bamboo, bro.
Bamboo, you don't want to fuck with.
That's for soil sessions, okay? We'll do a soil bamboo. Fuck that bamboo, man. So so Dr. Redwood Fisher, he winds up a surgeon at the Hoboken terminal of the Lackawanna Railroad. He worked as the chief surgeon of the Hoboken Ferry Company, of the Gas and Electric Company. He was a visiting surgeon at St. Mary's Hospital, Christ Hospital of Jersey City. He was a consulting physician, and he was a member of the Pennsylvania Forestry Association and a charter member of the Historical Society of Monroe County. And he was a member of the Association for the Advancement of Colored People. And he was also a justice of the peace of Pocono Township. So it's possible that someone was married by him as well. So, yeah, he was a very prominent scientist, knew what he was doing. And at this time, yes, he's using the monkeys to basically try to come up with a cure to yellow fever and smallpox. So apparently, these monkeys, well, they probably didn't die happy. I mean, I don't know how else to say
Yeah,
that.
It sounds like a bad rap for the monkeys, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
we don't do that anymore, or we shouldn't be doing that anymore, right?
I hope not.
Yeah, right. But as Court and I were talking, because spider monkeys were just actually easy to get a hold of, and you remembered that there was you said he was a serial killer, but you know what?
He was
Yeah,
a
he was
cult
definitely,
leader.
yeah, yeah. Good old Jim Jones sold spider monkeys.
Door to door.
Yeah,
He knocked on your door. Hey, any chance you want to buy a monkey from me today?
for the whopping price of $29, and that was in the 1950s.
Yeah, that's a thing. That was real.
Yeah, as many times as we're like, this can't be true. This is no, fuck, that's 100% correct. God damn, this guy really had monkeys in his basement. Okay,
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm crunching numbers really quickly because I know that some people think about this stuff. I know I do, which is why I went ahead and looked it up for you guys. So $29 in like the 1950s when Jim Jones was doing this is the equivalent of someone coming to your door and being like, hey, do you want to buy this monkey for $330? And it's kind of funny, like how many people probably had $29 laying around because they had expendable cash. If someone walks up to my door now asking me if I want to spend $300, I'm like, are you fucking crazy? That's a car. That's a car payment. No. And it is currently illegal to own any primate in Pennsylvania. But if you want to move to North Carolina, where I know we have listeners, by all means, buy yourself a monkey.
Be careful, because they can rip your face off.
They sure
can.
can, and they will definitely try.
Now, have you guys heard on your own of any ghost animals besides the ghost monkeys of Pennsylvania? Can you think of any that you remember?
I remember one from a previous episode. Yeah, the ghost dogs at that road that I went to and didn't see.
The ghost dogs.
Yeah, there were shadow dogs.
I went with you with that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
My first thing that I thought of was the ghost dogs from our good acquaintance over at Strange Familiars book. Tim Renner's book, The Seventh Gate. He talks about ghost dogs over in his neck of the woods with the 7 gates going on and stuff. That is an interesting story to get into, but it has a lot of stuff that does not involve ghost dogs. So
Yeah, that's literally like a whole episode. 7 gates.
yeah,
So I did not include that one in here because these are mostly like little tidbits for Halloween. This time of spooky season. Only one of these on this list is one that I knew and put in here because I'd heard about it previously. So apparently there are ghost horses and a black dog on the old Turnpike. So the old Philadelphia Turnpike. And there used to be a bridge there, and it would be like when you were coming out of Allentown and then crossing over South Mountain. And it does have a couple of like weird appearances of stuff. And it even made the newspaper at one point. The news article is actually from 1889 to be specific, and it is from the Morning Call archives. It reads, Allentown, Pennsylvania has long been favored spook dog, a large black fellow who appears on the mountain at a certain point on the turnpike and walks with the traveler until a well-known mark when he suddenly disappears as he came. The dog utters no sound and betrays not the least show of either friendship or violence. There are those who believe that the mysterious animal is the materialized ghost of a murdered man, as he invariably makes his appearance at the exact spot of the tragedy. There are a dozen men who claim to have encountered the dog at that exact spot, some of them more than at once. They confess that they never pass the spot without a shudder and hurry by as fast as they can. Women never pass the place at night, and many even make a wide detour to avoid it in the daytime.
Favorite part of that was the sexism. Women never go around there now. They're too weak. They're too cowardly. But men will bravely go there, but not women.
Oh man. It's funny. It was 1889, good old sexism.
So it's just like a dog that chills there.
Yes, and I could not find anything specific about this dude who was supposedly murdered there. So there was a farmer that was returning home from Allentown, and he reported seeing a procession of white horses march across the bridge. He later fell ill after returning through the area. That sort of reminds me of like the Irish legend of the banshee. If you see her, then someone in the family is going to die, or a lot of times just these other ideas of you see this ghostly animal and you're going to die, or you're going to get sick, or someone you know is going to die or get sick. So interesting. But I like the idea of this dog just kind of following you and then walking with you till you get to a certain point. I feel like it's not threatening, it's more like protecting you. And I sort of saw where people immediately were like, oh, it's this manifestation of this poor guy who got murdered, and maybe he's following you and guarding you so that the same thing doesn't happen to you. So I thought that was very sweet, actually. Very sweet in comparison to the other stories.
Yeah. It's better than giving a bunch of monkeys yellow fever.
Yeah. The next one is just super sad. Now, this is the one that I remember from a book by Addie Kent Smith. This is one of these Bucks County legends, if you will. So you guys are too young to remember this person. She died in 1983. When were you guys born?
After that.
89.
Yeah, okay. So that's right. You were born the year I graduated high school. Okay. So I'm going to tell this story because when this airs, the anniversary of her death will be like next week. Okay. So October 21st of this year will mark the 38th anniversary of the death of a very beloved newswoman named Jessica Savage. She would have been, I truly believe, she would have been right up there with Diane Sawyer.
Wait, what was her last name again?
Savage. Jessica Savage.
And she was in news.
She's a newswoman.
So were her segments Get Savage with Savage? Because if not, it's a missed opportunity.
It should have been. But unfortunately, she died before she really had a chance to have the career take off. And one of the reasons that it did not quite take off as much as everyone had hoped is that she had a lot of personal problems. She had a very quick first marriage that ended in divorce. Her second husband killed himself only 5 months after they were married. She had a very nasty cocaine habit. The cocaine habit actually destroyed the cartilage inside of her nose. That's how bad she had it.
Welcome to the 80s.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough. And I was just a kid when this happened, but I still remember it because she was local news. So she was our, Philadelphia newswoman. And she was so pretty, she had blonde hair, just everything you kind of wanted in, a woman telling you the news in the 80s. It was,
What you're saying is people with blonde hair are pretty?
I'm saying that she was pretty and she happened to have blondish colored hair. She just shut the fuck up, JC.
Oh my God.
Are you? You have blonde hair. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah.
You dick.
You think I'm pretty?
God damn it.
So,
I just ruined their story.
a very sad story, JC.
This is how long I've been in the house. I forgot JC had blonde hair.
Right? I almost was like, wait a minute.
I was like, what is he talking about?
Damn it. So just a few weeks before her death, she was doing a live shoot and she was slurring her words. This was a huge deal. I remember people talking about this. This was like water cooler gossip. Like, oh my God, she was like really drunk or she was like super high and her career's over, She was going out on a date with the New York Post executive named Martin Fishbein. He was driving their car, and they had gone to Odette's, which some people might know that if they're from the area. Odette's in New Hope. We could get into that later. We're actually going to do a whole episode on New Hope because there's so many haunted restaurants down there. It's really cool. They went to leave and a huge thunderstorm came through. Unfortunately, Martin sort of got confused about where the actual road is. And having been in New Hope ever since I was a kid, I can totally understand exactly what happened, which is just really fucking sad. He accidentally, instead of driving onto the road, he drove onto the towpath, which is right next to the canal, and plunged the car 15 feet down into the canal, which was overflowing with all of this water. And she had a beloved husky that she took with her pretty much everywhere. And this night was no different. Martin and Jessica and her beloved husky, Chewy, all drowned
No.
right there. Very, very close to where Odette's used to be, because Odette's the whole thing has actually been moved. Like I said, that's a whole other story. Yeah. So not long after this tragedy happened, people started reporting seeing a husky walking up and down the towpath, especially in the evening. So many people saw it, as a matter of fact, that you even had people questioning, like, has anyone lost a husky? It's like this beautiful big dog. Looks like it has a collar on it. A couple people even tried to catch him. When they got so close to him, he would just vanish. And of course, not a lot of people wanted to talk about that. They're like, did I just have a hallucination? Like, some people knew that Chewy was in the car. Some people didn't. And slowly people were like, oh my God, like, yeah, I've seen this husky. This is, there are a ton of pictures. If you go online, you can see this dog. There's a ton of pictures of Jessica with this dog. Basically, he was like a support dog before there was the word support dog, right? So apparently, especially during the anniversary week of her death, you can sometimes catch a glimpse of Chewy walking up and down the towpath near where the car fell into the water, looking for his master.
Hey, it's Nikki Glazer. And even reading about Trojan Ecstasy Ultra Rib condoms is kind of getting me juiced up, if you know what I'm saying. Each Trojan Ecstasy Ultra Rib condom has ultra smooth premium lubricant inside and out for a more natural feel. You guys know I love lube. I don't leave home without it. And now I'll leave my bottle at home and just bring the condoms. Also, they have extra deep ribs at the base and end to increase stimulation. So these condoms are for both of you, really. This condom has a unique design that lets you feel the pleasure and not the condom. To be honest with you, if I went out with a guy and when we're getting down, he brings out a Trojan Ecstasy Ultra Ribbed condom, I'd be like, this dude knows what he's doing and he's considered me in this. Thank you. When I think condoms, I think Trojan condoms. So try Trojan Ecstasy Ultra Ribbed condoms. Triple tested and trusted for over 100 years. Feel your best. Get yours on.
That's fucked up. Why'd you tell us that story?
That stinks.
Sorry.
I can't make jokes about that.
No, not that one.
I mean,
You're
I
not supposed
could,
to.
but like, do I want to? No.
So, side note, the movie Up Close and Personal, starring, I think it was Robert Redford and Michelle Pfeiffer, is based on the life of Jessica Savage.
That's probably a sad movie, huh?
I didn't see it. I didn't watch it. I grew up with the events. I didn't need to watch that again.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I said this sort of becomes more about dogs, except for our monkeys that I definitely didn't want to leave out of this one because, But I happened upon Pennsylvania mountain stories, and now we get to talk about werewolves in Pennsylvania.
Heyo.
Yeah. I'm so excited about this.
My jam.
So the first one I came across in this book is The Ghostly Black Wolf of Oak Valley. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh.
The tales are told by a Granny Myers, and it's been a little homework done on this one. Not my homework, although I couldn't find exactly where this piece of information came from because it was like reblogged on a blog. There was some cross-referencing going on. I didn't do this part of the research. I just found it. Like, I know somebody else did it, and I'm sorry I don't know exactly who. I could try to find later, but I couldn't figure out exactly where it originated from, unfortunately. But they were able to figure out that this particular thing probably took place about 5 miles north of Loganton and Sugar Valley. And I'm not familiar with either one of these places, to be honest with you. This is not our neck of the woods. This is further out.
I don't know,
The other
but
side.
Sugar Valley sounds like a very sweet place to be.
I fucking hate you so much.
It's like you said the words and expected me to not do the joke. Like, It had to be done. If their town logo is not, or town motto is not
The candy cane?
the candy cane, it could be the candy cane.
Sugar Valley, the sweetest place to live. Boom, baby.
Is that what their motto is? If it's not,
I
it
have
should
no
be.
idea. It should be. Let's
And I
write 'em.
might contact my lawyers to make it that way.
You don't have lawyers. Don't give me that.
Kiki, you're a lawyer, right? I mean, I tell people you are.
Okay. Wow. Okay. And somehow I believe that.
Do I ever lie?
All right. So there's this guy. I just gotta keep talking.
Oh my God.
There's this guy. His name's Silas Werninger, and he's at the Young Man's Town Hotel. I'm assuming there's also an old man's town too,
Maybe.
and a middle-aged man's town.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, I can see it.
See, when I say it, it's not quite as funny as when JC makes fun of these.
Yeah, because I'm the funny person. I'm waiting for Card to
Prove it. Prove it.
He has a fight with some guys at the Young Man's Town Hotel. In that fight, he shoots 2 men and he kills one. He barricades himself inside of his cabin with his wife and his kids. While there, he shot 2 policemen sent to go get him. At some point, the house is set on fire. His wife and children escape the fire. In the meantime, Silas slits his own throat, claiming that he's not going to be taken alive. I'm like, that escalates really quickly. So he gets in a fight, he kills a guy, and then the next thing you know, he's killing policemen, setting his house on fire, and then slitting his own throat. So that was a very busy afternoon for this dude. Oh my goodness. When they put the fire out, they go in, they get his body, and he's buried in a grove of oak trees. The next winter, everybody starts seeing a, quote, big black shaggy dog near the oak trees where Silas is buried. And there's a guy who's mentioned going after the wolf named Ira Sloopy. I don't know. It kind of reads sloppy. So
If he took a shot in the leg and his last name was Sloppy, I'm going to fucking lose.
it's spelled Sloppey, and, you know, yeah.
Ugh.
So, yeah. So Granny Myers, as I mentioned, some of these stories are from her. And she's apparently the local witch. Of course she is.
Huh.
She claims, though, she's like, she knows the deal. This is not a wolf at all. This is actually the ghost of Silas Werninger. And that you guys screwed up. You buried him in the oak tree strand instead of, burying him in hollowed ground. So you've got to exhume him and you have to bury him in the Lutheran cemetery in town. So they do that. They did do that. And within a few weeks, the wolf is killed. So the big bad wolf.
So hold on. They killed it?
Yeah. Right. So I was kind of like, was it really a werewolf? Was it really a ghost? I mean, if they kill it, then,
That seems like it's just a...
and it's just a wolf.
I mean, maybe a intimidating, spooky wolf, but that seems like a
man.
wolf if they actually killed it. I mean, would we really know if a werewolf is transformed into the wolf form and you kill it? If it was ever a human? Like, I don't know.
Well, okay. So here's the thing. In these other stories that are very kind of like similar, right? I can get a hold of these other stories and like actually read them from the books. I think that's more beneficial.
Yes.
But there's 2 more that were kind of attached to this one that just gave brief overview of it. That gives me an idea, though, that people thought that they could also use pewter bullets to, quote unquote, shoot werewolves dead.
Pewter, huh?
Yeah. So there's another story from Clinton County. It's called The Werewolf in Pennsylvania. It's spelled WERWOLF. Now, this one talks about a mountain man named Peter Pence and his aunt is returning home. This was like in the 1850s. And she sees this enormous black dog, but it rises up on 2 legs, which I guess was the giveaway that it's a werewolf and not a black dog.
Yeah.
And it chases her all the way home. And then her husband used, and I quote, 2 pewter bullets to shoot the werewolf dead. It falls on the floor. And this one says it transforms into a neighbor of theirs. So a true werewolf, right?
I think what happened, and I could be mistaken here, but they shot the neighbor while he was a human because he was
They were
human.
like, oh, shit. Oh shit.
They literally said they shot the neighbor when he was a dog with pewter bullets and he turned back into a person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what happened.
I never heard that pewter bullets thing before.
Yeah, right?
That is
Intriguing.
interesting. I wonder why pewter.
What year did this take place?
1850s. Not an actual year, just a decade.
'Cause, I mean, the silver thing, I think, kind of makes sense, but I'm curious why pewter.
And there's another story from 1917 called Wolf Days in Pennsylvania. Once again, it's a guy who thinks, and this one's in Wayne Township. This is George Wilson, and he's convinced that a neighbor of his is a witch, and that it takes the shape of a wolf every night. A huge brown wolf, not a black one. He shoots it with a silver bullet this time and notices that the witch, the person, doesn't say man or woman, by the way. It says that the person he suspected as being a witch was seen the next day with a broken arm. So he believed that he had injured said witch, like when he shot it. And then the other one, he claims to have, the same guy claims to have shot a 3-legged creature with a silver bullet. It turned out to be a wolf, but it had he says it only had 3 legs, and he believed that one was coming back for revenge for shooting the first one. Yeah. Now you would think that maybe that's all the werewolf stories there are in Pennsylvania. That's 3 decent ones, although the first one seems a little odd, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
was it just a wolf? Yeah, Granny Myers kind of trailed off on that one.
Yeah, that's a little strange.
Unless she was trying to say that once they moved Silas to hollowed ground, then the wolf no longer had paranormal or magic abilities and was just a wolf and able to be killed. That's kind of how I was taking that one. I don't know.
I mean, possibly. I mean, definitely not actually, but that might be where the story was.
Yes, that's what I was kind of getting from that story. And I have that book. It's got a ton of really crazy stories in it, which I'm sifting through right now. After I read the one, I was like, what else is in here? Then there's the white wolf werewolf of East Donegal Township, near the Susquehanna River and the village of Rowena. Now, I've heard of these places. There's a place called the Shock Graveyard. It's often referred to, or I say that commonly referred to as far as the people in the area, they call this the Hans Groff Cemetery. And that's due to the fact that there isn't a big plaque in it. This is online too. You guys can actually see this little plaque that's there. It says, within this God's acre rest the descendants of Hans Groff. Now, Hans Groff is a Swiss Mennonite. He is one of the county's earliest settlers along the Susquehanna River there. He's also not buried in this cemetery. He's buried elsewhere at the Groffdale Mennonite Brick Church Cemetery in Leola, in case anybody was wondering. So this cemetery is indeed only for the descendants of Hans Groff. This is the one that I was hoping. I know it's a bit out of the way though. 1 hour and 48 minutes.
That's not too far.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
No, it's off of US 222, baby. It's a really cool little cemetery. It's got a stone boundary around it, right? And in that stone boundary is where that plaque is that I was telling you guys about. So it's only 60 by 40, right? The gravesite. There's 31 headstones in there. The oldest one is from 1797. And there are indeed several descendants of this Hans Groff who are there. The legend is that several of them were gunned down, quote unquote, when they were accused of being werewolves. And as a result of this, the graveyard now has a perpetual curse placed on it to keep the werewolves inside the cemetery. So they cannot get out, even in death. Another part of the legend says that Hans was actually a werewolf himself. Because the curse is placed on that land, he now actually is stuck there too. Like he haunts the place in werewolf form. So this is like a ghost werewolf. That's kind of cool. And then a lot of this is about ghost dogs. At night, they see this white werewolf, which they think is Hans, that there's other ghostly wolves that hang around among the grave sites. And then the other thing is that not everyone will see a wolf, but they will hear a howling wolf or dogs barking. But this one also has some extended cursing stuff going on. do not go there on a full moon because that's when the werewolves are at their strongest.
Okay, so that's when Corey and I will go.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's go. When's the next one?
You can invoke the curse, and this is the good one. You can invoke this curse by walking the perimeter of the graveyard 7 times under the light of that full moon, but you will perish before sunrise. You will be hunted down by the white werewolf.
Challenge accepted.
JC, I don't think you're gonna walk around anything 7 times at night.
Oh, with
Could
a
I use a
flashlight,
motor
well, yeah.
scooter, like, and drive around it?
No, your feet have to feel the ground beneath you.
I don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. You're not gonna do that. No. I'll go there during a full moon, but I know for a fact you're not gonna walk around it 7 times.
Well, how big is it? Like,
I told you, 60 by 40. It's a tiny.
oh yeah,
it's
that's not that difficult. Come,
Oh
No,
yeah, it's
you're
very
not.
tiny.
I'll do it.
Don't give me that.
Fucking, I'll do it.
No, you're-
Okay, I'll do it. I'll fucking do
Bet.
it. Okay, fucking bet.
He's like,
Bet.
I'll fucking do it. I'll fucking do
I'll
it.
fucking walk around it 8 times.
Well, that's one too many.
Well, fuck. I don't know.
Thou shalt pull thy pin and count to 5, no more, no less.
Uh-huh.
You know.
The address is 1668 and 1698 Old River Road, and there are a couple of houses close by. So if you do visit, I suggest doing it not maybe in the middle of the night like JC and Cord will probably do. Just to be nice to the people who live around it. And it's on the edge of Rowena near Marietta, nestled between the Susquehanna River and River Road itself. So it's actually, the pictures of it that I've seen on the internet, it's really pretty. And it is a very small site. And yes, I am just, ooh, man, I'm so tempted. I want to go walk around it 7 times and under the full moon. I want to see. I want to know, does the ghost werewolf come out?
They better. And if they do, they better get ready to wrestle with me. I mean, they'll win, but like, I'm not going down without a fight, I guess.
I'm like, that's one for YouTube. We do it. It's your first like real YouTube video.
And watch me get murdered.
I know, and watch JC get murdered on.
Imagine going there on a full moon and running into werewolves and bears.
And bears.
Yeah. So that's what I have for our special little extra episode on some crazy ass stories of ghost animals of PA. There's like tons more, but each of the other ones would really be like a whole episode. These are more of the snippets.
So this is what I'll say. If I found a ghost dog, I would try and pet it.
I would absolutely try to pet a ghost dog. I want to talk briefly because it's happening in a couple of weeks. So if you're a local and you're listening to this, we're going to be featuring a band named Larlene later on in November. But they've got a really cool October 31st show that's coming up at Ortlieb's. And so it's going to be Halloween night. So it's Larlene, and they're going to be with Ugly, UGLI, Ugly Band, and Eyeball, EYEBAWL Ball. And both of those bands are pretty cool, so you should check them out too. Hopefully we'll get to have some of them on as well later, but Larlene, sorry. So their show is October 31st. Then on October 30th, we got our boys, Slow-Mo Sapiens. They're going to be playing Philly Undercover, which is a cool thing that happens every year. This is World Cafe Live, and it's a neat idea where you have 2 bands go against each other, and they're dressed up as their favorite bands, and they play cover, like they're going to be those bands for that night. So we're going to have Party Muscles, which I just discovered recently. They're pretty cool. Again, local. I know, Party Muscles, featuring Barney Cortez. They're going to be The Stroke. Stop laughing. And then our boys, Homo Sapien, they're going to The White Stripes. And they have a special guest who's going to be playing with them, which they haven't said yet. Yeah. So they're playing October 30th.
Nice.
And that stuff is on our Instagram. It's also on their Instagram too. So yeah, we're getting to play their song today called Fangs. Get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Werewolves and monkeys and bears. Oh my. Damn it. I needed to find a damn bear story.
Well, there are bears.
You know what I mean, like a
Ghost bears.
ghost bear. I need a ghost bear.
I'm sure there's one somewhere.
Right. You can find Fangs on Bandcamp and Spotify under Slow Mo Sapiens, which I also said I suggest going to their Instagram so you can keep up with all their cool shit that they're doing. And when we get back, we'll do our quick, Spooky Squad news and shout outs if we have any.
You can blame it all on JC.
Why are we blaming everything on me?
Shut up.
Oh, okay.
If it weren't all your fault, maybe I wouldn't.
Oh, you know what? Fair point.
So the news. Let's update our listeners really quickly on a couple important things. Number one, poor Cord had to work like 1 million days in a row.
Yeah.
Not even a joke. It was terrible. So we've had to push a few things back because, he can only do so much, man. He's working his ass off, literally, right?
Yeah.
You have like no ass left, right?
Still recovering.
So we were going to start soil sessions. My fava beans are still growing really good. My Bambara ground nuts are actually too. And we're going to be talking about those two things in our first episode, which is going to be about beans. God damn it.
Beans.
I know. We got some cool stuff. And we have our guest. We have a guest that wants to come talk to us about some stuff for hopefully December. So, but we're having to push the beans back until November so that we give Cord some time to take a rest and take a breather before he starts recording that.
Yeah. I might have been a little lackluster the last couple episodes because I've been dying.
It has sucked for him specifically.
Wow. Ouch. I was about to say, ouch.
No, I'm not. I mean, that's it. Ouch for you.
Yeah.
You had to work like a bajillion bajillion days in a row. Yeah, episodes. And then JC changed jobs again, so he's been a little just trying to get our stuff together. So JC's new segment, we're hoping to get that out to you guys like the end of October for a little bit of extra fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah. So that's the update on some of the episodes. And of course, I've been working my ass off and trying to bring you episodes every week in spooky season. Dang it.
Yes.
And so we are kind of getting more active on Good Pods. That is an app that you can use to listen to podcasts. It's not really an advertisement for Good Pods. We're just using it. Well, I'm using it. Let's be honest. I'm the one. It's an app that you can use to just listen to independent podcasts like us. There's a little button. If you download the app, you hit that button and say, oh, I only want to listen to independent podcasts. I don't care about anybody else, And we're able to have curated lists, our favorite podcasts in different genres. And that's just for fun. That's for funsies.
Interesting.
If you go to our Patreon, you can sign up for just $1. You get a whole bunch of extra stuff and free downloads for stickers. I have some cute little Halloween stickers I got up there. You also get our booper reels. We're up to where I'm working on number 8 and booper reels right now. And those things last for like 20 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I didn't know we said that much stupid bullshit.
I sure
yeah,
do.
You do. Yeah. I got another 5 episodes worth.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I'm sorry that I'm trying to help us produce content. I'm sorry.
It's great. It's great. You're fine. Yep. So Patreon level 1, you get that. $3 level, you get access to some material that I'm still trying to get out. Kind of pathetic now.
Wow.
My quirks, my Kiki's quirks, I still have a bunch of them to do. Then you get early access to when we do our true crime ones, which I'm also currently working on 2 of those. And the $5 level, you get access to our special Discord channel where we will do Q&A when we get enough people who are interested in actually joining us for a Q&A. It's there. It's just,
We've been waiting for questions.
Yeah. Yeah. our current patrons are not interested in joining us for questions.
Like,
It's kind of funny. I'm like, hey guys, we can do this, and they're like, okay, man, we're cool. We don't need to know anything. Fine, okay, fine, fine. But we're also at the $3 level. We're going to be adding soon. We've agreed that we're going to start having a cool pop quiz where Cord and I are going to ask a question to JC pertaining to old podcast episodes, and we'll see how much JC attention.
My guess is he's not going to do very well.
I don't think he's going to do good.
Well, you guys are wrong. I'm gonna be successful. I'm gonna be the most successful person in the world.
the biggest, the greatest.
I'm the greatest in the world.
Nice.
I'm trying to determine if you're doing like a impression there, or if you just like went off the handle.
I just went off the handle for a minute.
The ham. He's a ham, all right.
You went ham for a minute.
Went ham. And on Good Pods is the other cool thing. If you follow us and if you don't feel like giving monthly, but help support us, which is mostly just money to help me buy new books for research, you can give us a tip over there. We have a tip jar available on Good Pods, which is kind of cool. And if you decide to use Anchor, which is who we're with, again, one of the reasons that I'm staying with Anchor is that I get some backup as far as being able to play music. So I'm gonna stay with Anchor, and they're adding some cool things now. So, for example, on our last episode, where I had, well, it would have been there'll be another episode that airs since then, but back on the one where we were doing the top 10 with my friend Nicole, who's an author. We did the top 10 gothic horror of 1990s, because God, there was a lot that came out. It was ridiculous. We were able to ask the question to the audience, what's the next one that you want to hear? If you want to hear Nicole and I do another top 10 movies, she loves that kind of stuff, and she'd love to come back on anytime. So yeah, we can also ask poll questions too for each episode. So, for example, at the end of this episode, I may have a poll question I can ask directly to Anchor. So just know that you can catch that over there too. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. We're doing stuff. I'm always doing podcasts for other podcasts over there, other recommendations. Twitter. And if I'm watching a documentary or I throw that up on Instagram. And of course, some of those are probably going to end up talking about when we start our horror back up again, because hey man, we had Bernie Reyes, the freaking director of Killer Sofa, like tag us in on both Twitter and YouTube talking about how much he loved our review of Killer Sofa.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, Bernie Reyes. Love you.
Hell yeah.
Great fun director. He gets involved.
I'm glad that I was able to find a movie where the director is that involved. You're welcome. I did what I could.
I'm the one who told you to watch Killer Sofa, and you didn't even finish it.
I recommend it that I watch Killer Sofa because I had already started watching it previous to that.
And then you didn't even finish it.
Like most things in my life, I did not finish it. That is correct, but I'm also a terrible person.
Oh man. Yeah, so maybe, I don't know. Maybe we should poll like what movie JC should watch all the way through.
Yeah.
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 And I'm going to put like some of the worst movies out there.
I mean,
like Land Shark. I think you should watch Land Shark. Okay.
Birdemic.
Why do you guys hate me?
Birdemic is my vote.
Here I am trying to enjoy my life, live a happy, fun
you're
life,
not.
and you guys just want to take shits on my chest.
You're not doing that. Come
That sounds like a scene from Birdemic.
on. Did you ever watch Birdemic?
No, of course
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, I've watched it like 5 times.
Oh my god.
Whenever somebody says something like, "Oh man, The Room is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life," I go, I could change that very quickly.
Wait, you can watch it right now on Tubi for free. Hey, it's got Tippi Hedren in it. Okay, it had a budget of $10,000.
Yeah, Birdemic is incredible, and I suggest anybody watch it. Everybody needs to watch that movie.
Oh, and sorry.
No, you go.
It was put out by Severin Films, who I believe just started following us as well. So hey, yeah.
I mean, that's about as glowing a review as I've ever heard for Birdemic. I've watched it like 5 times.
I'm gonna hashtag those bitches and be like, hey, we mentioned you. We told people to follow us. You need to follow us back, you bastards. Taking us out again is gonna be Fangs by Slow Mo Sapiens, as I said, playing October 30th. So go check out Instagram for those details, or our Instagram for those details. And it is spooky season, so stay spooky and don't die. But if you do, contact us
via messages crocheted on crocheted blankets. Thanks
again for listening to Scary Time by Indie Drop-In Network. Check out all of Indie Drop-In shows at indiedropin.com. If you would like your show featured, reach out to us at Indie Drop-In on all social media or go to indiedropin.com.